Hey everyone, it's Kai from Kool Collectibles, back again for another review. This time it's the Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale Captain Han Solo in his Hoth outfit. For all your 1/6 scale figures and more, click the link in the description below to head on over to Sideshow Collectibles. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, I'll just quickly go through the packaging and all the accessories. So you get the standard Star Wars style packaging that Sideshow always uses. So you get the artwork on all four sides with the magnetic opening flap to show the contents inside there. So nothing too spectacular, but does the job pretty well. The accessories, and he does come with quite a bit that you can see there. So I'll just start with the blaster rifle here, which is pretty nicely done. Not too much weathering, but it does look pretty good, and I think it's pretty consistent with the Luke Skywalker version as well, so if not identical, so not too bad there. He comes with his belt that is detachable with the Velcro here on either side, so you just clasp them together around his waist like that, and it holds very well, so I do like that. The material itself is a fake leather. That's not too bad. It's not too weathered or anything like that, which is a bit of a shame, but the overall quality of the material is pretty good. And I do like that all of these little pieces that they've stuck on here at the front are actually look to be punched holes all the way through, so they're glued on the back here, it looks like, and not just glued on the surface. A lot of the times the previous figures I've got from Hot Toys and Sideshow have these sort of metal buttons and so on all just stuck onto the leather, so they tend to fall off, but these ones look like they're punched all the way through, so much better quality there. And the overall sort of silver look and these pouches and so on is pretty nice. So the belt buckle there is pretty nice too. So, and there's the gun holster with the magnetic hook thing, so I just unclasp that like so, and it just magnetizes back, and this is the part that goes around his thigh, so a nice accessory there. And this section here is for this little accessory. I have no idea what it is, some sort of canister or something, and you just clip it in there, and it just sits on his belt like so. These two little pieces here, I had no idea what they were, but apparently they're supposed to mimic the antennas in their retracted position. So it comes with these two long antenna rods, which I think are actually metal, from what I can feel. It doesn't feel like plastic, and there's a bit of a noticeable weight to them, and the tip here just plugs into the I don't know, life finder thing. I can't remember what this is, but I'm assuming it's the thing that he uses to search for Luke, and I think that one plugs into the top there. They are pretty delicate, so you need to be fairly careful, and this other one here plugs into this tip here, so you just plug them in gently and push them in as far as they can go, and that is pretty much the way this finder thing operates. And I think these pieces here, if you take those off and replace it with these ones, it's supposed to mimic that look, supposedly. The tips are the same, sort of, so I guess that probably makes sense. But I'll just take those off. You just got to be careful not to snap them or anything like that. But this accessory itself is probably my favorite. It's beautifully weathered. I really like the way they've done the weathering on the straps with that sort of dirt wash. So it's a very realistic look on this particular one, and I love the detailing at the top here. So overall, this is a great little accessory. Comes with the same set of binoculars as Luke, with the same fake leather strap. For this one, they packed it by twirling this around and around a few times, and so it's all come out sort of wrinkled. So just be a bit careful, because it might be delicate when you take it out. But again, not a bad accessory at all, so nicely detailed there. He comes with 2 hands on the figure already, and he comes with 3 pairs of other hands. So you get the sort of relaxed glove hands, and then you get the gun trigger for the right, and this one is, I guess, not much different to the relaxed hand. So this is probably the more relaxed, and this is the reaching out doing something. And then you get the 2 sort of holding hands for, I'm not sure what he's going to be holding, probably, I think the that life finder thing. So both hands on either side of that. So that's a pretty good set of hands there. He comes with the snow base, and again, I really do like the way they've done the sort of rock and snow feel. It does really add a nice touch to the display. I think the Luke one came in two sets, 2 pieces, so one for the rear, but this one really is only for that one position here. So there is a little notch in the back here to cater for this stand, so it should look like that, but I actually prefer the look with the rocks all facing the front, so I'll have it displayed in the other direction, like so. If I can actually get it back in there, I can do that later. But I guess the main accessory that everyone is probably most interested in is the exclusive head sculpt. And similarly with the Luke, I actually think they've done a fairly decent job with the sculpt. I can definitely see Harrison Ford in there, but again, the facial paint app is the thing that ultimately lets it down. The paint app on the hair and the molding is actually really nice, and right up there with the Hot Toys head sculpts that I've seen. But it's the paint app. I mean, you can see the skin texture, particularly if you get some of the shadow and the lighting on it. So the mold itself is really good, and it's just the sort of light, realistic paint app that's letting it down, which is, I guess, consistent with Sideshow, I guess. The eyes on mine look pretty much perfect. They're not too big, and I don't think really have that sort of dead stare look. I think it's actually pretty good. I'll just grab the Luke for a second here, hold on. And just give you a side by side. So together, I think these 2 head sculpts probably rank among some of the best sculpts they've done to date. Now, if they could only just get that extra bit of realism into the skin texture, they would be right up there with Hot Toys quality. So definitely liking that. But I'll grab the figure now and give you a look at the rest of him. Alright, so here he is, and overall I actually think I like this figure better than the Luke figure. There are some issues that I'll go through that I don't particularly like, but overall I think it's pretty damn good. Now I'll just go through the head sculpt. So the head sculpt here is pretty much, I think, the same as the normal head sculpt. I'll just grab that one again. So if you can sort of see the lighting, I think the sculpt is essentially the same, and they've just put the headgear and so on around it. So this sort of fake fur is not too badly done. I think the prototype probably had it done a bit thicker, so it looked a bit nicer, but I guess this has the sort of windswept look to it. But I'll try and fluff it up anyway for mine. The goggles work in the same way as Luke's, and so they are on elastic edges, so you can pull them down and cover the eyes, so you can sort of just see the elastic there. Now you just have to be a bit careful and not pull on the hair here, because they do tend to come off. Now this whole hood section does come back. Now I haven't actually pulled it back yet, and I'm not sure if you're meant to sort of loosen up the sides here in this scarf to get it to sit back a little bit. But I'll just pull it back a little bit. So the head sculpt itself has the sort of headgear underneath, which is on the sort of cover art, which is that look there. So you can pull the cowl back and reveal the headgear, which is similar to the Luke's. Now mine seems a bit tight to pull back, and I'm not sure how easy it is going to be for me to lift it back up. So I might try it off camera and post some photos on the website and Facebook page, so stay tuned for that. But I don't want to do anything silly on camera here, so I'll pass on that one. The scarf is a nice material and it's nicely done. Now this jacket here is probably my favorite. I think it's a really nicely done sort of style, and is amazingly accurate to the actual real costume. So you get all of these fake pocket flaps and so on. The rank badge here is much nicer than the Luke one, where it's just pretty much just stuck on the top, as opposed to having a pocket that's too small. And similarly, it has these metal clasps like the Luke figure, and so there's no risk of breaking them and not being able to put the jacket back on. So you just need to be careful there and just get your fingernails in to undo it. So I'll just do it along here, and for the most part they're pretty easy to undo and redo. So for the Luke one, it didn't fit too well, and so it sort of splayed out, but this one seems to fit this particular body extremely well, so there's no size issues there. And I guess the surprise within is the fact that he's got his blue Bespin vest in there, but unfortunately it does have a zip, and I can't seem to see a zipper on mine anywhere. So I'm not sure if you can actually zip that back up or not, but I might take the jacket off and show you guys a bit of that on the website. So again, another layer underneath is a white shirt underneath, which may be the one that you see in Return of the Jedi, as he's coming out of that hibernation sickness. But the way they've got this material for the scarf that can wrap around his face, so there's that separate piece there, and then this separate piece at the top, with all of these layers, is just an amazing amount of detail. So definitely kudos to Sideshow for putting so much effort into this particular outfit. And I think with the tailoring, it's a much nicer job than the Luke figure. The pants, I think, are pretty much the same as Luke's. I'll grab the Luke in a second to do a side-by-side compare, but the material here is the nice sort of khaki style sort of material, which is nicely done, and it doesn't look overly clean or anything like that, so it's got that nice sort of grey wash to it, which is nice. And the boots, I think, are pretty much identical to Luke's boots, which are the soft plastic, so you do get a bit of articulation in all of those directions, so that's pretty nice. Articulation wise, I guess the shoulders, they don't even really seem too restricted by the thick jacket, so the arms sort of move as you would expect, and the elbows. I guess the gauntlets here do look a little too fat, so they make him look a bit like an astronaut, and it also depends on how you pose these arms. Sideshow posted a video recently where the guy recommended following the seam lines all the way down to continue that illusion, and it does actually look a lot better than if you were to do something like that, for example. So that was a good tip to make the most out of this, the gauntlets and the gloves. So overall not too bad, and very similar to the Luke figure there. Just get rid of that fluff. But that's pretty much it on the figure itself. The head sculpt, not too bad. The goggles are the same as Luke's, and the jacket and all the layering and the clothes is pretty outstanding. So I'll just finish up by getting Luke out and doing a side-by-side. Hold on. Alright, so here they are set up next to each other with the Hoth Luke and Hoth Han figures. And I guess this points out probably my biggest complaint between these two figures, in that Luke is taller than Han, which is all sorts of wrong for me. Both figures are pretty much the same. Now the pants are a slightly different material, but you can see that the dimensions start to stretch out for Luke in the costume here along the legs, where these knee pads are much closer to the boots there on Han. And as you gradually go up, the proportions, yeah, Luke is just too big in my opinion, or Han is too small. Now I'm not sure why they did that. People have said that they might have made Luke slightly bigger for him to fit better on the Tauntaun. But that doesn't really make sense to me, because this body here for Han fits just as well on the Tauntaun as well. I've seen photos of both figures on the two variants of the Tauntaun head sculpts and so on. So the bodies really do cater for both. So I'm not sure if they used a slightly different body, or there's just slightly different length in the foot pegs or something. But I don't really know what it is, but something is definitely making the Luke look taller. So I'm just going to have to deal with that, I guess, but it's definitely an issue scale-wise that I don't really like at all. I guess ultimately in my display I'm going to have Luke on the Tauntaun and Han standing next to it, so the difference in height will be hidden by that illusion, but I guess it would have been good if they had gotten that right. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see Hot Toys' Han Solo coming out soon, and whether or not they then announce a Luke Skywalker from A New Hope as well. I'm definitely hoping they do the original cast and finish off with a Tatooine Luke, and it'll definitely be interesting to see how they do the scaling for those figures, and hopefully with Hot Toys they get it right, because with Han and Luke here from Sideshow, they're great figures in their own right. I really do like the outfits. The head sculpts are a nice surprise, but the scale sort of ruins that illusion for me. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys like that look at the new Han Solo. Definitely click the link in the description to head on over to Sideshow if you do want to pick it up. I think the exclusive is still available, and I decided to go with the movie accurate brown coat instead of the vintage toy accurate blue coat. So it's good that they Sideshow gave the option to buy both, but I've gone with the brown, and it's just a bit more consistent with the way I like my Hoth dioramas and so on. So yeah, hope you guys like that quick look. Hope you can click that subscribe button. I've got a whole bunch of reviews coming up over the next month or two, so hope you can stay tuned for that. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers, bye.